Morning, everyone. This is Sean Butner with Start Your Day with a High Performance Coach, and today we're going to be talking about having little acts of boldness in your life. So, if you're new here, please make sure you subscribe, follow, like, share, do the social media thing if you would. Help spread the word if you think this will be helpful for someone. And as always, you can answer or ask questions below where you see this video, and if I don't get to you on the video, I will definitely follow up after when I can actually take a look at everything. But it's just me here in my home studio. So that said, also, if you're new here, say hey, or if you're coming back again, say hey, so we can do a shout out. I like to honor the community because you guys are the best and you guys rock. Now, what are these little acts of boldness? So we know that the world's most successful, most productive, most fulfilled people are not holding back. They can express themselves, they can express their ideas, they can, have those difficult conversations when they need to at work. They can have those difficult conversations with their, personal life, family and friends. They can, are not afraid of change. They can step into it knowing that, hey, I got this. I can figure this out. And, so many people, when they are holding back or not stepping up or not fully expressing themselves, it's usually because of fear. We do have this really strange reality where one bad day and another person with a smartphone recording you can define you and cause a lot of harassment and a lot of attack. Good or bad, that is the reality. So you have that, but you also have these feelings where maybe you don't want to upset people. If you're a people pleaser and you're like, if I express my feeling about this, I don't think the other person can handle it. Or I think the other person's going to get mad at me or get upset, and I don't want, to upset this person that I like or love or care about. It's very, very real things. Or that you're going to get mocked if you share your big idea at work and people don't accept it, don't think it's a good idea, don't really understand, or you can't get them to understand, you can't get their attention enough to explain it. So there's a lot of things that go into why people, give away their power, why people make themselves small in social interactions. And it's something that we all go through, and it's something I definitely went through. I was highly shy growing up, and in high school, I really didn't talk a lot. At least I didn't think so. I really kept my feelings tight. I really kept quiet about a lot of things. I didn't really know... And it's the story of growing up, so I don't need to go into too much detail with that. But I realized leaving high school that I needed to make a change if I was going to make friends, because I was going to school where I really didn't know anyone. All my close friends went to other places. So new school, new area, by myself. I'm like, I'm going to need this skill on how to make friends. And really just express my personality, because up until then, like, if we were friends, like, I could be goofy, I could, show and share my full self. But if we were new, it was really kind of just trying to get a sense of how you operated and what your sense of humor was and stuff. So I think we've all had that type of experience. So for me, little acts of boldness were playing music, at first for our cat at home, and then for, my brother and family members and a small group of my friends, culminating at the end of high school in front of, I think, 50 people at some, after-school club, which was awesome. So, that escalation of, doing something scary for a greater audience really, I think, helped me realize that, hey, when you're interacting with people, the risk of you dying is very low. And the risk of getting up in front of people and public speaking, which is terrifying, is not as big as you think it is. Most of the time people want you to succeed. So, there's that stuff, growing up too, interacting and figuring out how to date. It was a huge thing because it's really hard, so you build up some social skills, and then you're like, oh, if you're interested in anyone romantically or not even, if you're thinking that somebody's going to perceive that and be offended, or, it gets, the head games that people do are pretty crazy, and that was where I was at, and then just kind of realizing that, when you make fun of people, and if you do it in your own way, right, that's basically what flirting is. It took me way too long to realize that, but I did, and it all worked out. So the question I have for you is, what are your little acts of boldness that you need in your life? Is there someone that you've been meaning to say something to and you've been holding back because you don't want to upset them, or you don't want to deal with the frustration of them not hearing you, or what are you holding back on? Are there people at work that are not performing the way that they need to, whether that's a peer or an employee, and can you have a positive conversation and be like, hey, do you think you're doing okay? Do you want to do better? Do you need help with anything? Maybe, not assuming that any ill intent, but just trying to figure out hey, how can we help you here? How can we elevate you? Could be a good angle, but there's all different ways. But when you do these small things of having a conversation, of expressing yourself a little bit, of figuring out the next smallest step to just be a tad bit bolder, what you end up getting is a little bit of feedback saying okay, this is acceptable, or this did not go well. You get a little bit more confident, you get a little bit more authentic in how you communicate, and ultimately, I think it can be a huge change even over just a month if you're just doing a little bit more that makes you uncomfortable, but you're sitting with it and you're addressing it and you're going after it. So I'd love to hear what you guys are going after. What is your next little bold action that you need to do? A little bit more courageous thing that you can do in your life. Post that below if you're willing. I'd love to cheer you on. If not, just go out there today and be a little bit more bold, a little bit more expressive, a little bit more authentic, and I think you'll see the day is awesome and a little bit different. So, all right, guys, go out there, have a greater impact with whatever you're doing, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Take care.